It's day 3 of my period, or bleed, as clinics like to call it, and that means it's time for my baseline ultrasound scan, which is where they go in and have a look internally to see what's happening inside my body. So are my ovaries looking healthy and good? Are there any cysts on them? Because that would be a real problem. We'd be starting some other kind of treatment instead of IVF, which is not what I want right now. And is my womb lining as thin as it needs to be at this stage? And so on. This is something that I would normally be doing at my London clinic, but I'm staying put in Berlin because I actually start a new job later on this week. So there's no point me heading back right now for this scan and then having another one in a week's time and doing nothing in between. I need to be here to meet my team, go into the office and do all the onboarding. So I decided to stay here. I am going to a clinic that a friend of mine recommended, which isn't too far away, thankfully. And I actually booked this appointment in person, so I'm familiar with the surroundings, which helps, but I'm still feeling quite nervous, even though I've had countless scans before, but I've never had one in Berlin. I've never been to a new clinic. Well, I haven't in a long time anyway. So I'm feeling a bit nervous about that and what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen once I go into the doctor's office, you know, the layout and the forms that I need to fill in, all the COVID protocols as well, because all of that is quite new. So I wouldn't say scared, but yeah, just a little bit apprehensive, got a bit of low-level anxiety going on, and yeah, it's a strange thing to be going into that scan life again after not having had one for about a year. But I'm also excited because something is finally happening, instead of just being on the sidelines, you know, waiting for updates about our donor. So yeah, a lot of conflicting feelings going on, good, bad, scary, nervous. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. Back home after the baseline ultrasound scan at the Berlin clinic, and I'm happy to say that everything went really well. It's all as it should be, which is a relief, because I think the longer you've been on this TTC journey trying to conceive, a small part of you will always expect some sort of bad news around the corner. So yes, I'm happy and relieved, and now the next step is just to wait for the go-ahead from my London clinic to start the estrogen tablets. So that is 3 times a day, morning, afternoon and evening, and the purpose of that is to thicken up my lining so that it's ready for the transfer. And in the meantime, it was interesting to see the differences between the 2 clinics in the 2 countries. And in this clinic in particular, you don't get to have a modesty cover when you go into the scan. So you just hop up on the chair, the wand goes in, and then your insides are on a screen. And I'm just really glad that I wore a long top so I could kind of cover myself up a little bit. I think no matter how many times you do these scans, and I've had a lot, whether it's a man or a woman, it's just all really weird because you're there, you know, on your back with your legs splayed out, and it's not very dignified. So yeah, that little piece of paper does help keep your dignity intact a little bit. And the other difference was having a physical printout of the scan, which I've never had before. I've never asked for it actually, so I don't know if that's possible at my clinic. I don't see why not, but it threw me a little bit to have that, because not in a bad way, but just I thought that one day hopefully I get to see the version of it where it has a fetus on it, and that means that something positive will be happening at the end of all of this effort. Let's see. But at the moment, as it stands, everything is looking great, and I'm finally getting excited about moving on because it's just all happening now. So yeah, I'll see how it goes when I go to London. I'll let you know, keep you posted.